Welcome to the good life. Welcome to the good life.
The wait is over.
The wait is officially over. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to the Good Life with me, Eileen. I missed y'all yesterday on Labor Day. Well, not really. We all had a pretty good day. We were chilling, had barbecue. I was, doing my thing. I had a girls' weekend, so it was fun. Every now and then, you need that little girls' weekend. What'd y'all do? I am in the studio with Henry and Uche, and we have Dr. Turner on the line. Welcome to the Good Life. I have all the fellas today. Ty is out, but I will be holding it down for the ladies. Y'all know, ladies, I got y'all. What'd you say?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. We can hear you now. Good luck. I got the ladies. Henry, you know I got the ladies.
Of course.
Of course. Brian, what do you think about it?
I'm all in. Good morning. I had a very eventful weekend, so I'm just happy to be back on dry land.
Oh, Brian, I gotta talk to you.
I know, we're like all like, what was that?
Just check Facebook. That's all I say.
I will definitely look during the first break. Today's conversation is the biggest seven relationship issues and their solutions. So we're really going to get into it. I wanted to make sure, obviously, that we have Dr. Turner and Henry here, and obviously Uche, because they all have they're at different stages in their life. They give different points of views, and we can really kind of delve into this. It's rare that a couple doesn't run into a few bumps in the road. If you recognize ahead of time, though, what those relationships problems might be, you have a much better chance of getting past them. So we're going to jump right in. Number one relationship problem. What do y'all think it is?
Communication.
Ding! How could you possibly have guessed that, knowing that
It's not fair. They're like
they're relationship
like seasoned for
therapists.
this.
Yeah.
All relationship problems stem from poor communication. That's what they say. So if you're able to communicate, your relationship will be that much better. Some problem-solving strategies: make an actual appointment with each other. If you can't communicate without raising your voices, maybe choose a different location. Set up some ground rules, or using body language to show that you're listening and actively listening. So what do you guys think about communication as being the number one issue that most people have?
I mean, if you can communicate effectively, you should be able to talk about all your problems and work them all out. I mean, if you look at every relationship, whether it's with your boss or your children or your spouse, you communicate effectively and you're good. You say, listen, I was really disappointed when this happened the other day, or when this was unable to happen, etc. It's about talking things out and you're working through things.
I noticed there's something that you did when you just said it, and you probably did it because you're trained to do it, but you said I instead of saying you. And, I'm a big reader and I'm a self-help book lover.
Well, they teach you to say I feel.
Exactly. But most people, when they're having a conversation, you did this and you made me feel like this.
Yeah, it's like, no, I didn't. I didn't do nothing.
That's why people become defensive, because, when you point the finger at somebody, no matter what the situation is, they may say, whoa, hold on. That's disrespectful, etc.,
The natural response is to be defensive.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if
Can I disagree a little bit?
No, but go ahead.
Okay. So I think communication is 100% the place where we have problems, but I think it stems from something that happens before that. We don't quite know what we want to do in problem situations, so we become reactionary. And so you could have someone who 99.9% of the time can be very communicative, but if there's that one thing that just gets them, out of the way, and it's because they haven't prepared for it. And so I think if we're going to make solutions or resolutions or like reconciling relationships, you got to know, like you said, Eileen, how you want to handle it. Because I could be communicating really well with someone, and I can use my I position and I can speak from a very real point. But if that person just doesn't want to hear that, and I think about that just because in most of the situations, one person is trying really, really hard to fix it, another person is trying really hard not to fix it.
Right.
And so I just think sometimes, like, I do agree that communication is key, but I also think there's a little part that happens right before that. And I think it's just, do I even want to make up? Is this even something I want to hear? Because
you want to reconcile anything.
Yeah.
Well, even a person listening, Brian, that's a part of communication as well. You have to be willing to accept what's going on and accept the other person speaking to you. You know, if you already are tuning them out, already have a negative feel, I mean, that's poor communication right there.
Right.
Well,
Non-verbal.
It's in the poor communication also at the same time is that, you know, I could be communicating with somebody and they could be like, whatever, I'm good. Comments like that.
Right.
Look, I grew up with the Webster's Dictionary, so for me, whatever means whatever. Whatever means like, if I just totally turn my back on you, that's whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
So be very specific in your communication.
Right.
And that's what I don't think people are able to do. That's why it's such a pet peeve to me. It's like, whatever. It's like you can't be more creative than that. You can't be more specific than that. What exactly does that mean? And when I take you at your meaning on that, then you get upset. But whatever means, whatever.
And I will say this, ladies, because I'm holding it down for y'all today. Having been on the radio and having these conversations with men for about a year now, they are very specific and they say what they mean. And so when you say something, they take you as your word, like verbatim. So if you say turn left at the corner, they're literally going to turn left at the corner.
Oh, you're going down a one-way street. It's like you told me to turn left.
They're not going to go to the corner like, you know, and take the scenic route and smell the flowers. They're going to take the right at the corner. That's what they're going to do. So if you want something, we have to, as women, and it's not even my personal opinion anymore because I'm getting this from clinical psychologists and therapists, we have to tell them what we want and be very specific about it. If we want something, say it. If you don't feel like you can say it, write it down. Send a text, send an email, ask, can we discuss this later? This is what is the issue. And then send it to them. And then it's on them. And if they've had a bad day and they can't talk about it as soon as they walk in the door, maybe it's a conversation for tomorrow. Maybe it's a conversation for an hour after you get home. But let them then determine when to have the conversation because you're already ready. Because, you know, we ready to have the conversation. Once it's on my mind, I'm ready to have it. But you have to be willing to accept the conversation. So, and if we don't have both people on that page, then we're really talking to a wall. And I know I want to get whatever I want to get out. So I want you to be
But that's the thing.
ready.
When you say trigger words in a conversation, it's like, oh, you're going to listen to me? It's like, no, I'm not. I don't have to. I can tune you out very, very good.
And they do that. Y'all ladies, y'all know they do. So it's like, you know, go at the conversation and have the conversation when it works for everybody. And put yourself in their shoes, you know, and for the man as well, because you don't know what happened during their day. You don't know if their boss went off on them. You don't know if, you know, they lost an account. You don't know what happened that day. So, you know, just for the man to put yourself in the woman's shoes and the woman put yourself in their shoes before you go and have this conversation, whatever it may be.
I think the big thing is, which is something that was like paramount in my life, is like in communication to stop the yelling and stop the cursing, stop the disrespect.
Oh, please say that. Yes,
and
please.
That allowed me to become a better communicator. And, you know, instead of doing all that, if it ever gets to the point in a conversation like that, it's just like, I'm just going to leave you alone. I'm not going to go there.
If you're cursing each other out, you're not really communicating.
You're not communicating at all. It's a full out assault.
But you know, everybody has that moment where they go, you know, whatever. But that's the point where you're like, I need to have this conversation
you've lost
later.
Control at that
right,
point.
Exactly.
Henry said something a couple weeks ago that I think when we think about relationships and solutions, he talked about problem solving skills and conflict resolution, which I think that's another major issue at times because I think right now, socially, a lot of problems are solved through anger, violence, or some type of very aggressive, you know, kind of position. And I think anybody can attest to it. If you see someone gnarling and snarling and their teeth are gritting and their face is all balled up, that doesn't really invite someone to want to have a solution with you. It creates more aggression because you know how it goes. If you hit me, I'm going to hit you. If you talk about my mom, I'm going to talk about your mom. And so I think Henry hit that a couple weeks ago, but that idea of how do you even talk about, you know, how you solve problems? Are you someone who talks? Are you someone who needs to write notes? Do you need space and time? And then you can come back to it. But if our problem-solving skills are nil, then communication, you know, any of that, taking time out, is not going to work. Because some people just don't have those skills, and it's kind of a step back to figure it out. And, you know, how do you want to solve problems, like Eileen said earlier?
So what would be your what would be your suggestion as to how to go about it?
Well, my thought is that I generally, if I'm in a relationship, or even with my friends, I mean, I think at some point in life you have to ask her, like, you know, look, you know, if I get upset with you, you know, I want to be able to come to you and talk to you about it, you know, and how should I do that? And especially when you talk about romantic relationships where you begin to involve deeper, you know, financial obligations, personal obligations, social kind of presence, you know, it's really cool to be able to say, hey, you know, like how do we handle these things? And to have, like, I almost think about it as like an emotional prenup. You know,
I like that.
To come up long before anything happens to us, hey, if this happens, how do we want to handle it? Hey, if you cheat, you know, what does that mean? Or if one of our children gets sick, or, you know, if we have a financial problem, like to come up with that emotional, like, this is my emotional bank, this is what I have in it, this is what I can afford to expend at any one time, and if I'm depleted, if I'm in bankruptcy, then I need you to save me, I need you to help me.
Well, I think I'll come.
I like that.
Yeah,
y'all got that from The Good Life. An emotional prenup. Thank you, Dr. Turner.
well, I come from more of a Fred Flintstone point of view myself.
Really, Bam Bam.
Yeah, I'm like, you got to explain everything to me like a 6-year-old. I'm sorry. If you want me to do something, you better be very, very specific, like you're talking to a child. I need you to do this, this, and this if you want it to get done the way you want it to get done. If you're vague, you're going to get a vague outcome. So,
But ladies, I want y'all to really hear what he just said. If you want something for your man, be very specific. If you're vague, you're going to get a vague response. And the majority of us generally don't want to. Now, everybody is different, but we're just speaking in, you know, majorities.
I think Ute just nailed it, though. For him, he just said, this is how I need you to care for me emotionally. And if you don't do that for me, then his life is like a box of chocolates. What you get is what you get. If you didn't tell me exactly what you wanted, you didn't give me enough direction. Now, and of course, I think even harkening back to what Uche is talking about, the whole watching a car and all that, it's like, I'm going to go out and do it because I want to do it. But if I don't hit the mark, well, if you didn't tell me, I don't get any points for trying.
No.
I don't get any points for doing something. It's all bad. And then that's the other part of solutions is I think sometimes we want to make people all good and all bad, and it's all or nothing. And we just aren't that way. We're human.
Right. I think that's a big point. Henry, what do you think about that when you're doing when you're having communication or you're having a conversation and it's either all or nothing? You're like, but I did this, you know.
you don't give a man an ultimatum.
Well, first of all, you need to know exactly who you're dealing with. Everybody is not the same. You know, you may want to communicate one way and they may want to do things another way. I love what Brian said, like the emotional prenup, try to find out, hey, what's the best way
we gonna make
to
one.
tell you bad news or et cetera, Man, if everybody could do that, I mean, life would probably be great. But I have a more sneaky way of doing it.
What is that, Henry?
Well, I like to really observe people and, ask a lot of questions and ask about past relationships and things like that. So, I mean, I don't think anybody, maybe a few people, but not many people are shooting 100% from the field when it comes down to relationships. That means the first person you dated, that's who you married, bam, you Michael Jordan or whatever. But usually it doesn't go that way. So when you ask questions about past relationships and, what went wrong, and you try to dig and find out how they communicated, and if the girl or the guy says, well, I had a problem with that for a long time. I told him once, and I just didn't say nothing again, and I started cheating, or I started doing this and this, and, I started doing things behind their back. You finding out who you're dealing with right then and there. And that person's telling you, hey, I'm going to tell you once, and I ain't going to tell you again, and I'm going to start doing my thing, et cetera. And that's up to you if you want to pursue something like that.
But is that fair to just tell somebody once? Because you don't know what the situation is.
I don't think so, but,
Well, and what Henry's saying is so like, I've done that, and it's like, I don't want to hear what the other person did in the relationship.
Let me hear how you responded. Right.
I want to hear what you did in the relationship. The other person, I'm not dating the other person.
Hello.
I want to know what you did in the relationship. I want to know how you solved the problems in the relationship. I want to know how you started conflict in the relationship. I want to know how you resolved conflict in the relationship, and if you never did resolve. Yeah. So these are all things that you want to know from the person. I don't care what happened in the relationship between the two people. Is what you did in the relationship.
But doesn't it tell you a lot if all they do is point the finger at the other person?
Yeah. That's why I'm like, I don't want to hear what he did. What did you do?
Right. We're going to take a quick Quick break.
Break.
I know. I'm like all into this conversation. We're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to get into some of the other top issues that we have in relationships. We focused on communication because it was the biggest, but we're going to get into sex, money, trust, and all other kind of stuff. So stay tuned. This is Eileen. This is A Good Life. It's Relationship Tuesday, and I'm here with the crew. We'll be right back.
People are raving about Lil Dizzy's Cafe.
I liked it so much I went back the next day for breakfast.
I went for the lunch all-you-can-eat buffet, and I had to be rolled out of it.
I've had many gumbos in this city, and I will say, hands down, Little Dizzy's is the best.
I felt loved when I ate the bread pudding. I literally almost cried.
You heard it here first. Lil Dizzy's Cafe is New Orleans' #1 Creole restaurant. Open 7 days a week, Lil Dizzy's pulls out all the stops with a mouth-watering all-you-can-eat lunch buffet featuring the best fried chicken and gumbo in the city. Enjoy a hearty breakfast and be sure to ask for the seafood omelet loaded. Lil Dizzy's Cafe, 1500 Esplanade Avenue in the historic Treme. For reservations or takeout orders, call 504-569-8997. For catering and private parties, call Miss Jerry at 504-324-9567. That's 504-324-9567. Lil Dizzy's Cafe, the best in the city.
L&R Security provides the good life. They make their mark in the security arena by providing excellent security services for more than 35 years, and are licensed in more than 13 states. L&R Security's team comes with a wealth of experience from the military, law enforcement, and law enforcement training. Their personnel is comprised of more than 200 employees trained in video monitoring, special event services, convention services, armed and unarmed security guards, ticket takers, executive security, personal bodyguards, hall monitors, and critical infrastructure personnel that are TSA trained. L&R Security services are provided on a 24-hour basis and have expanded to the newest technology, including video monitoring. Find them on the web at www.lrsecurity.com or call them today at 504-943-3191. Again, that number is 504-943-3191. Live the good life with L&R Security today. Are you tired of that squeaking door, those uneven steps, or that room you want painted? Have you been looking for that trustworthy contractor that is licensed and insured that can handle all of your residential construction needs? Well, look no further. Elite Southern Solutions can handle all your residential needs. There is no job too big or too small that Elite Southern Solutions can't complete to perfection. Call them at 504-756-7933. That's 504-756-7933. To add value to your home, to update your bathroom, add that much-needed storage, or finally remodel your kitchen. Elite Southern Solutions will take care of that water leak repair, those boards that need to be replaced after termite season. Call a contractor you can trust to get the job done right the first time. And that's Elite Southern Solutions. They are fully licensed and insured and will give you peace of mind. Call them today at 504-756-7933. That's 504-756-7933. That's Elite Southern Solutions, getting the job done right the first time.
I need help. My hair is a mess and my man texts me telling me to be ready for 8. He has a surprise. What am I going to do? My stylist takes forever.
I got you. Call Ringlet Salon. I just left there.
Where?
Ringlet Salon. They took me within minutes and had me in and out in no time. Very professional, and I scheduled online at ringlets.com.
For real?
Girl, for real.
Does Ringlet Salon hook up your roots?
Looks like I got a perm, and you know I'm anti-chemicals. Ringlet Salon has my hair soft and bouncy. I'm getting the Brazilian Blowout Express next week. It eliminates frizz for 6 weeks.
6 weeks? Okay, I'm all about Ringlet Salon. Where are they located?
Ringlets has 2 locations, one at 4712 Paris Avenue and one in the Hilton Hotel on the river. That location validates parking for 4 hours and is open on Sunday.
Perfect for a working woman like me. That's all I needed to know. I'm going to be fresh for my man.
You will if you schedule your appointment at ringlets.com. That's RINGLETTS.com.
Bye. Go and make my appointment with Ringlet Salon now.
You're on the move, and so is your bank. Liberty Bank now offers you the power to manage your money from the palm of your hand with mobile banking with Liberty Bank. Whether you need to check balances, transfer money, or view transactions, mobile banking at Liberty Bank allows convenient and secure access to your money. Enroll today at www.libertybank.net and download our mobile app. You can mobile bank at Liberty Bank to keep the power in your hands. Liberty Bank. There's freedom here. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Talk radio heard around the globe. New Orleans own WBOK 1230 AM and WBOK1230AM.com. Real talk for real times.
Welcome to the good life. Welcome to the good life.
Good morning, and welcome back to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Relationship Tuesday, and we are discussing the 7 most prominent issues in relationships and giving some solutions. We're going to touch on one of them that you're having today, trust me. The biggest one that we just kind of covered was communication. And before we jump into the other ones, I really kind of want to follow that up because we were discussing this during the break. We were discussing that when you're having communication problems, if it ever gets to the point that you feel like you want to put your hands on someone or, damage something, please walk away. It is never okay. It is never the outlet. It is just, and we're not just talking about men. We're talking about females. Do not put your hands on anyone. It is not the way to go. It is just, that's just not the good life. So we want to kind of say that before we jump into our next
I have a solution that has worked.
What's the solution?
When I was a little bit young, I had like one of those crazy chicks, and she would always try and push me. So one day I just got this, the big gulp cups?
Uh-huh.
So I got the big gulp cup, filled it up with ice, filled it up with water, went back and sat down, and she just went back into it again. And I just threw the whole glass in her face.
I do not suggest that either.
What was her response to that?
That is not.
Like, deer in the headlights. And it was like.
Did she stop putting her hands on you?
She stopped everything completely, so.
You got some chicks that'll go get that bat for that, though.
She stopped calling.
Wow. Walk away. The good life is to walk away. If someone brings you to that point, obviously they are not good for you.
Yeah.
So
cold water.
Obviously they're not going to get to you. We're going to run into our next major relationship problem. Can y'all guess what it is? It's funny. Lee and I were discussing this before the show, and he hit the top 3. I guess, he listens enough to Relationship Tuesday. He knows what we talk about. So I already know you guys can tell me, and the listeners, I already know you know what number 2 is.
This should have been number 1.
Let Uche say.
Uche, what's number 2?
Sex.
Yep.
Ding.
And guess what? The person that doesn't think that sex has anything to do with their relationship needs to get a new sex partner.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, number 2 of the major relationship problems is sex. Even partners who love each other can be a mismatch sexually. So you really need to be aware of these things. And number 1, if you have a mismatch sexually in the beginning, and then I'm not trying to be funny, this is real, and then you choose to continue to have a relationship with them and then get married, it's your fault. Mm-hmm. You knew they weren't your match sexually, so why would you continue a relationship and say, I'm going to be with this person for the rest of my life? If you weren't a match from day 1, why did you think it was going to be a match in year 3? It was
probably a financial match or some other kind of match or something.
Well, then you're making decisions on the wrong basis.
But guess what? There's no easier way to end an argument.
Well, hey.
You lose the power of speech and have sex. and 9 times out of 10, that problem's just over. It was like, what were we arguing about? But if you have a bad sex partner, it's like, look, man, it's like, ain't nothing going to help nothing. It's like, I'm still mad 2 months later.
They say sometimes one of the solving strategies would be to plan, but sometimes you like it to be spontaneous. So whatever it is for you, let's try to throw that in. Sometimes planning, a before work, I'm reading, a before work quickie can release, everything and everybody has a great day. Or sometimes putting it on the calendar, there's that build up.
Putting it on the counter. I was like, what?
Oh man.
Well,
anyway, there's that build up of anticipation. Learning what works for your partner can really, release stress, and so that you both are on the same page with this, because it really is a problem in relationships. Go ahead, Brian.
I was going to say one of the first things, and this is both for men and women, we have to get off of some of the sexual hang-ups, and we have to move beyond, because I think it's not just what are we going to do with each other, it's what do you believe, what do you want to do in your own willingness. I'm fine if 2 people just want to do missionary or just want to kiss, but like Uche said, I mean, if we're not on the same page, then it's going to end. And I think that's something we got to deal with from a historical perspective, like a psychological, mental perspective. As long as both black men and women specifically are not open to understanding in the daylight what their partner wants. Because we do a lot of things in the dark that we don't want to tell anybody. We hope nobody finds out. But the reality of it is if your partner's sitting over there wondering, will she do this? Will he do that? And you can't talk about it, and then they're like, well, they don't want to do it, so I'm going to find somebody else to do it. And now you're mad because you might have done it, or at least you might have talked about it. So I see this, and Henry probably can get into the same conversation, but I have a lot of couples who, well, I'm not going to do that. Well,
you don't need to be in a relationship. You see, if there's anything you're saying,
not with that person.
Yeah, if there's anything you're saying you won't do in a relationship, then you don't need to be in a relationship.
But why wouldn't you do it if that's okay? And I'm speaking from, you know.
Because you're selfish. That's why.
No, I got a better one. Because you're childish. Because anybody at this point, this stage in life, that's like, I won't, I don't, and I don't like, you're childish.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's something extreme.
Now, people have extreme fetishes, and we will just leave that there because there's an extreme for everyone. But I will just say, if it's your husband or it's your wife and they are requesting something from you, or probably have been more than once if it's something they enjoy, why would you not take that extra step and do something that they enjoy? And I mean sexually and non-sexually. Sometimes they like the ballet. You go to the ballet simply because they like it. Well, it's a sexual act that they prefer, and you would rather them do it with you than somebody else, right? It's something that you share together.
Well, let me tell you what usually happens, Eileen. In everything that you just said that people don't do, and then people break up, what's the first thing somebody will do when they break up? Oh, you want to go to the ballet? It's like, no, but you didn't want to go when we were together. Now we're apart. Now you want to go to the ballet. Same thing sexually. It's like you break up with some. It's like, now I'll do that thing that you like. And it's like, no, it's too late. It's over with. You had your chance, you know?
Right. Well, I was with you for 10 years. You didn't do it, but now you want to do it now.
I'm gone now. Now you want to do it, man?
I'm gonna be a little more sensitive, even though I agree 100% about the childish and selfish part. But I think there's a historical perspective for men and women about what they should do when it comes to sex and intimacy. And if you don't have the right partner,
white or black?
Both. I mean,
just had to put that in there, Brian. That's all.
Well, I'm saying
oh my
both.
gosh,
sister's a little reserved.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know why. Sister's a little
reserved.
Okay,
I'm going to ask that. Why do you think that is? Okay, Henry, why do you feel that way? I mean, why have you seen that as a trend?
Well, I don't believe. Well, maybe I haven't had enough experience.
Tell the truth, Henry. Tell the truth.
But I mean, you have conversations with enough couples. We're not saying their names, but why have you seen that there are females that are more reserved in certain ethnicities?
Maybe older ones. I don't know.
Older ones, okay.
I think these younger girls, you know, I
think younger girls are too fast, but that has nothing to do with relationship. We talking about people who are in relationships.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard older black women say, I don't want to do this, I don't do that, etc.
And proud about it.
But it's your man.
But the younger ones,
they don't have one.
Yeah, I mean, it's really no difference, you know, in the white, black, Hispanic.
There's a difference.
I mean,
I'm out here, Henry. I know there's a difference.
Maybe that's why I don't know. I plead the fifth.
Well, I think, Henry, you're hitting it on the head, man. That's some generational stuff. Yeah. But I think, too, like Uche said, there's some cultural things, too, that are hold up there. But what I would say, I can't say that I've never not been in a relationship where it was unlikely for me not to receive the reciprocity that I was looking for. And I'm saying as I stand in front of my class preparing an election. But I think something that comes up once again, and I talked to my partners, like my close friends, I said, man, if you want to be with a woman and you're getting close to intimacy or like love and marriage, you got to have a real conversation about wills and wants and do's and don'ts. What will you do? What won't you do? What do you do? What don't you do? And at the end of the day, I think the only thing that you got to say is if it's going to hurt and it's painful, then don't do it. But
no, you just say relax.
I got to go on that note.
Thank you, Dr. Turner. We will talk to you later.
You know,
all right.
Bye.
One of the big differences in men and women usually do not want to go backwards when it comes down to their lifestyle from past relationships, and men do not want to go backwards sexually. So whatever the ex-girlfriend was doing.
That's a very interesting thing. Say that again. Women don't like to go backwards. You would say financially and lifestyle. And men don't like to go backwards sexually. So if they've experienced something, they want to continue experiencing that and move forward.
Yeah.
And women, if they're living a certain lifestyle, they want to continue that lifestyle or go forward. Now we're speaking on generally, but that's generally the case.
This 1,000% the case. They're just not admitting it to you.
It's not. You're not being real because it's like, once you've had that, look, it is what it is. Once you've had that partner, once you've had that partner, that one,
they done turned you out.
Yeah, it's hard to be like you looking at every next time that something happens. It's like okay, you're waiting. It's like when's this gonna happen? When you gonna do this? And when you gonna do this? And it's like like I say this all the time. I'm like, once you're spoiled, how do you unspoil yourself?
This is true. Once you're spoiled, how do you unspoil yourself? And here's the thing: why would you want to? Unspoil them. If I know that you've been spoiled, I'm going to outspoil you.
Yeah. And I guess in the relationship thing, it's like, don't you want to give the other person what they want?
Yes. Well, we have Kevin online, too, and we're going to ask him about that. Kevin, welcome to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Relationship Tuesday. We have Henry and Uche in the studio.
Yeah, I just want to say I'll bring up some good points. Look, being a younger man, I used to have desires because I haven't had those experiences, and I heard about them, seen them, so I wanted to have them. Had them when military, all around the world. I've been all around the world, and pretty much being from New Orleans, I was out there all around the world, so I experienced it, enjoyed it. Okay, was good at it. I like to think. At least that's what I've been told. and basically, I got trained by some of the best on the planet.
Yeah.
So, but what I found out is when I found my wife, we was from the same culture, right? Because I've been all around the world. I said, well, let me look back to those good girls because I've seen a lot of stuff happen when I was out there with friends and everybody else all around the world. And I realized I need stability, right? Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, there's nothing new under the sun. And the question is, what are your real values? Is it the pleasure principle or is it meat and potato issue? Look, my wife don't do nothing compared to what I've had and enjoy. But guess what? I wouldn't trade it for the world. Because when it comes to meat and potatoes, we grown now. And it's time to get down to grown folk stuff, and it ain't about amusement park issues. It's about real meat and potato issues.
There you go, Kevin.
There it is. I respect that. He's skydiving right now, but I respect it.
I'm still here.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Henry was saying that you're skydiving now with your wife, down to the meat and potato issues. Okay, thank you so much, Kevin. I'm going to let the guys respond to you.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I was saying he was skydiving because all the air I was hearing, that's all.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. But he that's priorities for him, you know.
Right.
I mean, he feel like he don't need the amusement park stuff, and you know.
I'm like, look, I don't need the amusement park, but I definitely need the bumper cars.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I will say this. Once you've experienced certain things and you find the person that you want to share that with, whether you be male or female, opening that door and having that relationship to that new experience with the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, doesn't that make it that much more, I don't want to say substantial, but doesn't it make it that much more
special?
Yeah, special, I guess. Sometimes it's just the basic words. Special if that person will experience that with you because they know that makes you happy.
Yeah. I mean, it's the ultimate sacrifice. I mean, you want to feel like somebody really cares about you, and you say, listen, these are them things I like. As long as it's sanitary things, that's my opinion. But as long as it's sanitary, look. We grown. Nothing wrong with that.
I'm with you. You with me. We're grown. This is right.
That's what they got hot tubs for.
He said that's what they have hot tubs for.
So I mean,
you
just
put some chlorine in there for you.
Lots of it.
The yin and the yang.
You balance each other out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Uche?
No comment.
Okay. Well, We are going to take a quick break, but when we get back, our next big relationship problem is money. Money problems can start even before the wedding vows are exchanged. So these are conversations that you want to have before you walk down the aisle. This is Eileen. This is The Good Life. We're talking conflicts on Relationship Tuesday, and we'll be right back.
The Crescent City chapter of the Lynx Incorporated invites you to join in a special tribute to celebrate the Champions for Change. Saturday, September 19th at the Hyatt Regency, 601 Loyola Avenue, featuring a fashionable journey to the Emerald City. Tickets are $75 with sponsorship levels starting at $1,500. This year's honorees include Carol F. Bebel, Dr. Calvin Mackey, Monique Harden, Curtis Pierre, Casa Samba Man, and Dr. Corey Hebert. It's the 2015 Champions for Change Luncheon presented by the Crescent City chapter of the Lynx Incorporated. Saturday, September 19th at the Hyatt Regency, 601 Loyola Avenue. Doors open at 11 a.m. with a silent auction at 10 a.m. Join us as we honor the 2015 Champions for Change with the Crescent City chapter of the Lynx Incorporated. Linked in friendship, connected in service. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit www.eventbrite.com and search Champions for Change Luncheon.
Are you tired of that squeaking door, those uneven steps, or that room you want painted? Have you been looking for that trustworthy contractor that is licensed and insured that can handle all of your residential construction needs? Well, look no further. Elite Southern Solutions can handle all your residential needs. There is no job too big or too small that Elite Southern Solutions can't complete to perfection. Call them at 504-756-7933. That's 504-756-7933. To add value to your home, to update your bathroom, add that much-needed storage, or finally remodel your kitchen. Elite Southern Solutions will take care of that water leak repair, those boards that need to be replaced after termite season. Call a contractor you can trust to get the job done right the first time. And that's Elite Southern Solutions. They are fully licensed and insured and will give you peace of mind. Call them today at 504-756-7933. That's 504-756-7933. That's Elite Southern Solutions, getting the job done right the first time.
Small Business Thursday is on the move. We'll be broadcasting live from the NAACP St. Bernard Parish branch office in Vida, Louisiana on Thursday, September 24th from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. for the 73rd Annual Louisiana NAACP State Conference and Convention. Make sure you register for the convention at www.lanaacp.org. You can also call 504-613-8805 or 504-450-8596 to have your business highlighted during this special edition of Small Business Thursday. Tune in on Thursday, September 24th, as we broadcast live from the 73rd Annual Louisiana State NAACP Conference and Convention, only on WBOK 1230 AM, where it's real talk for real time.
I need help. My hair is a mess and my man texts me telling me to be ready for 8. He has a surprise. What am I going to do? My stylist takes forever.
I got you. Call Ringlet Salon. I just left there.
Where?
Ringlet Salon. They took me within minutes and had me in and out in no time. Very professional, and I scheduled online at ringlets.com.
For real?
Girl, for real.
Does Ringlet Salon hook up your roots?
Looks like I got a perm, and you know I'm anti-chemicals. Ringlet Salon has my hair soft and bouncy. I'm getting the Brazilian Blowout Express next week. It eliminates frizz for 6 weeks.
6 weeks? Okay, I'm all about Ringlet Salon. Where are they located?
Ringlets has 2 locations, one at 4712 Paris Avenue and one in the Hilton Hotel on the river. That location validates parking for 4 hours and is open on Sunday.
Perfect for a working woman like me. That's all I needed to know. I'm going to be fresh for my man.
You will if you schedule your appointment at ringlets.com. That's RINGLETTS.com.
Bye. Go and make my appointment with Ringlet Salon now. Renting a car can be an easy thing at A Priority One Rent-A-Car. A Priority One Rent-A-Car, now servicing the New Orleans metro area, is your neighborhood rent-a-car company. Conveniently located at 209 South Broad Street, our goal is to save you money on your rental. A Priority One Rent-A-Car offers daily, weekly, and weekend specials. Our rental rates are inexpensive, starting as low as $30 per day. We accept debit cards, credit cards, and cash deposits. At A Priority One Rent-A-Car, we strive to be a better rent-a-car company with low rates, making it convenient to do business with us. We provide great cars and great service. So phone A Priority One at 504-827-2900 to make your reservations today. Save time and save money. Call 504-827-2900. Why pay more at some of the other rental car companies when you can pay less at A Priority One Rent-A-Car? Personal car insurance is required.
You are now listening to the radio station that's keeping it real. WBOK 1230 AM, where it's real talk for real time.
Welcome to the good life. Welcome to the good life.
The wait is over.
Good morning, and welcome back to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Relationship Tuesday. We just wrapped up some of the conflicts that we have in our relationships and solutions. So we just finished discussing sex, and I will say, on The Good Life, we like to open people's minds to living differently in the world. So I hope that you all go home and learn your partners, because that is the good life. Find out their likes and dislikes, and be a little bit more open. Our next relationship problem is the third biggest one. Money problems start even before the wedding and before we walk down the aisle. So let's have those conversations. And, even sometimes it's like we need to put off the wedding so we can get on financial, grow our foundation before we take those steps. So what do you all think about, money? We need to be honest about our current financial situations. And sometimes that's hard. Don't just approach the subject in the heat of a battle. We really need to kind of sit down and, prepare for it. It's a real conversation, and it's going to come back to sneak up on you if you don't have the conversation in the beginning. It's one of those you just kind of can't get away from.
The funny thing about money is it may not be number one on this list, but it'll come back and trump 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're having money problems, you may not want to communicate, you may not want to have sex. So, you have to, y'all have to have y'all priorities.
This is a good life. We have real conversations.
You have to have your priorities in place, and you have to be on the same page with, y'all investments and y'all savings and y'all spending habits. You have to prepare for a rainy day, when of course with money. But I find couples have a lot of issues with, not being on the same page. Somebody may have a more lavish spending
Somebody's
habit.
a saver and one's a spender?
Yeah, the guy may say, man, I like to fix up my car, and he's spending his whole paycheck on fixing up his car and buying all kind of stuff.
But the baby needs milk.
Baby need diapers, and he just spent the check. Or the woman, want to go get her hair done, her nails done, etc.
You better learn how to do it yourself.
Hey, yeah, sometimes you...
At least for a little while.
If you have to,
right,
but if things are straight, then do what you want. But when it's not,
like you say, in being straight, it's like, and I think that's the honesty in it. It's like for me, I'm straight. Are you? I got my stuff together. Do you have your stuff together? Because I'm comfortable and I'm confident that I can take care of the things that I need to take care of. And just to be honest, what I'm not confident about is I'm not confident that I can take on another person or other people in my life at this point.
Right.
So I'm saying I can take care of my things, and my things are fine, and that's pretty much stable. But to take on another person and their wants and their needs is like, whoa, it's like, look, you got to be bringing something. You got to be able to take care of your own stuff also. I'm not asking you to take care of my stuff, and I'm definitely not looking at you saying, oh, you got too much stuff. You need to sell this, so we can get this. It's like, no, this is my stuff.
Right.
You should already be coming with your stuff so we can have our stuff,
Let me ask you a question, Uche. In a relationship, let's say you and your woman are working. Okay, y'all both have jobs. Who pays what, in your opinion? If y'all are living together under the same household.
Well, here's the difficult part.
You should decide which
No.
person pays
Here's the difficult part. and it's a good question. And it's you ask the question, I'm just answering. What do you do when the other person? What do you do when the person that you coming into the relationship and all my stuff's paid for? What do you do then? So I should be paying for your stuff because you're not paying for my stuff because there's nothing to pay for.
Well, for you,
I'm just saying a person. I'm just saying
agree.
a person that's. What if you come into a relationship?
House
and
paid for, cars paid
everything's
for, all that.
paid for,
Right.
and what are you contributing? But I got to pay for your stuff now. Now I got to pay off your stuff.
You got a point.
No, seriously, it's like. So what are you coming to the relationship with?
I'm paying electricity.
Exactly, and that's what it is. Like that's not enough.
Right.
You already came into a ready-made situation. You have to come with your own stuff.
You know, you don't want me to answer this question. Oh Lord, this is a good
Let
one.
me hear it,
about to
Ali.
say this.
Let me hear this.
Didn't we just have this conversation in segment number 2? Hello.
What?
You asked me what I'm bringing to the conversation, what I'm bringing to the table.
Well, then bring it. Bring it then.
I just said we brought this in segment number 2, and y'all know clearly
gotta
what I'm
Bring
talking
it.
about.
Well, then you got to bring it. And guess
Well,
what? I
then
ain't
guess
tripping.
what?
But don't tell me. Don't come and be
Just
like.
don't question me.
And don't say all the stuff you don't have.
Right, Henry?
That's what's up. Yeah.
See?
Yeah,
Look, it got quiet. I shut him down. We have Kenneth. And how often do I, quiet them? We have Kenneth on line 2. Welcome to The Good Life, Kenneth. We are discussing relationship conflicts and solutions.
Yes. And whether you have or don't have, you're coming into a relationship. It's supposed to be putting your stuff together.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to have a relationship where you're going, this going to be mine and that's going to be yours, what need is there to be in that type of relationship?
Do you base wanting to get into a committed relationship off of this? Because say you're going through the courting period and you may find out that, this person, and I guess I don't really want to give a negative point of view, but this person is a total spender, disregard, they're in debt, let's say $100,000, and they don't even have the mindset of choosing to change that. That's just who they are, and they don't want to change it. Would that change would that, I guess, sway your decision as if you move forward or not?
All right. That's a part of getting to know the person you're going to be with.
Mm-hmm.
If she's hiding that from you, that's something else. But if you're really interested in a person, you get to know their spending habits, their living habits. I know some things change once you get under the roof together, but you're supposed to do this.
Well, that's what we're saying, Kenneth.
As far as money,
go ahead.
is one thing that trumps it all, your health. You can be making all the money you want to make and get sick, and it brings the world down.
Mm-hmm.
And when you in and pray to the Lord, you with that person that's going to be there to help you no matter what, because they have some that will walk out on you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kenneth. I'm going to have the guys respond to that.
I had to finish responding to Henry's question in the first place because, look, in a relationship like that, like Henry was talking about, it's like, I'm like this. I'm very comfortable with you pay for your stuff, I'll pay for my stuff. And that's as simple as it gets.
Right. What about like light bills and cable bills and stuff?
I mean, that's all things like that. I'm like, look, as the man in the relationship, I take on all those responsibilities.
Right.
When I say I'll pay for my stuff, you pay for your stuff. I don't need money from you to go get a haircut. Don't get money from me to go get your nails done.
Right.
I'll pay for my stuff. You pay for your stuff. We go out, I'm paying.
Right.
But when I say your stuff, the extracurricular things you like to do in a relationship, you need to pay for. I don't care if you won the lottery, your parents gave it to you, you have a job, so on and so forth. You need to pay for your stuff.
Well, I have some problem-solving strategies. I'm going to throw them out there. I'm going to ask for your responses. 1, be honest about your current financial situation. 2, don't approach subjects in the heat of a battle. 3, acknowledge that one partner may be a saver and a spender. Don't hide income or debt. Wait, let me repeat that. Don't hide income or debt. Don't blame the other person. Construct a joint budget that includes savings. Decide which person will be responsible for paying which bills monthly. Allow each person to have independence by setting aside money to be spent at his or her discretion. If that's her income and your income, and that's how I do my extra stuff. That's what it is. Decide upon short-term goals and long-term goals. We want a vacation at this point. We want to do this, buy a house at this point. And last but not least, I thought this was very interesting. Talk about caring for your parents as they age and how to appropriately plan for their financial needs as well. Thoughts?
Beautiful.
Yeah. Only thing I don't like is and I say I don't like for lack of better words.
It's
but
for you though.
It's the hiding. Definitely don't hide debt, but the hiding income sometimes it's not. It's like, look, that don't have nothing to do with you. This is something that was done way before you. So
I gotta agree.
Yeah, it's like you don't need. What does this have to do with everything else? Everything else is straight. It's like everything's straight. You don't need to know because you don't what I have, what my income is.
Is that during a relationship though, or is that during marriage?
What difference does it make?
I think there's a difference.
Well, you're right. During relationship, no. During marriage, at the point that you're married, you can't hide, or you shouldn't be hiding.
Exactly.
Well, I gotta back up. I disagree now. Now that I thought about it, well, somebody hiding money.
I say during a relationship, if you don't want them to know that you're like a gazillionaire and you want to see if they like you for who you are, then that's one thing. Now, and if you get married, then I mean, obviously you should be sharing all of your information with the other person. I don't think you should be lying to them.
Let's just use a different word. Let's just say don't disclose it.
If you're not disclosing,
don't say hide it.
If I'm not disclosing that I have a $5 million trust, then I'm not disclosing.
Man, look, I've been in
a
relationship where it was like this. I get a job, I get a big check on a job. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh, I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this, and it's like, you didn't need that yesterday.
Right.
You didn't need that before I closed this job out, so now you need it all. I'm not telling you nothing no more.
But you know what? Yeah. The more conversations I have with guys, I don't want to say it's a fear, but it's something that you all definitely recognize when you're in relationships. And I think women obviously want to know that they're cared for and nurtured. And so I think it's a balance that you have to play of, making sure their needs are met, without being, super stingy.
Look, Eileen, in everything, I'm going to say this and then I'm not going to say any more about the subject. At the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with telling a person none of your business.
Yeah.
While you're in a relationship.
Don't hide it, but you don't have to.
Yeah, you're not lying about it. It's just none of your business.
Yeah, you're not talking about it. How much money you got in the bank? Look, I'm straight.
Yeah, I'm straight.
Look, you straight, I'm straight.
And that's usually good. 9 times out. Are you straight? You worried about me? Are you straight?
And last but not least, we're gonna we have about 5 minutes left, but I really wanted to get into this last one that we wanted to discuss today: trust. And it's really big, so we could probably have a whole other show on this, and we probably might the way that we talk here. Trust is a key part of a relationship, and so here are some problem-solving strategies I found for trust. And I'm gonna throw these out here to you. Number one, y'all, and I think the ladies will love a lot of these. Be consistent. Be on time. Do what you say you're going to do. Don't lie, not even little white lies. Be fair, even in an argument. Be sensitive to the other person's feelings. Call when you say you're going to call. Call to say you'll be home late. Carry your fair share of the workload. Don't overreact when things go wrong. Never say things that you can't take back. Don't dig up old wounds, leave it in the past. Respect your partner's boundaries. Don't be jealous, check yourself, and be a good listener.
I only heard one in there that I disagree with. All the rest of them were on point. Except,
thank you.
Except the call when you come home. It's like, what you mean call when I come home? I'll be home when I get home. What are you talking about?
No, call to say when you're going to be home.
No, I'm not calling to say when I'm going to be home. I'll be home when I get home.
Well,
but I agree with all the other 12. Let's not concentrate on the one I don't agree with.
Okay, well, I'll give you an example. Say that we have this little thing that we always have dinner at 7:30. And if you're not going to be home at 7:30, you should respectfully tell me I'm not going to be home at 7:30. So I'm not sitting there at the table, hot meal, 7:30, like twiddling my thumbs in my special outfit for you.
Put it in the refrigerator. That's why they make microwaves and things like that. It'll be all right.
Well, then.
It'll be all right. Cause
remember segment number 2? When that don't happen, don't be mad because you didn't call.
Don't be mad when I be on Ashley Madison then. It's all good.
Well, then. Well, look.
I had to throw in that plug right there. That's all. But
no.
I'm more of a she-she's man, so.
Oh, my God.
Yes, indeed.
Just watch out for the Band-Aids and what's underneath them.
Band-Aids? What is that?
Never mind.
What you talking about?
Henry.
They got a new roster over there, I heard.
Oh my gosh, we don't want to talk about that.
Oh,
one of the big things for me was doing what you say you're going to do, and I think that kind of goes into everything else. Do what you say you're going to do, and I think that's that's a lot for both sexes, male and female, but it's one of our things. Do what you say you're going to do. I need to be able to trust you, and if I can't trust you, then I generally don't respect you, which means we don't really have a relationship.
Yeah, don't lie, man. Be straight up. I mean, even back to the whole money talk. I mean, you don't have to hide it by lying and saying, oh, I didn't get paid this week or whatever, but you really did.
None of your
You can really say, look, man, that's really not, important. That's not any of your concern.
Oh, goodness. Well, this is a good life, and I want everyone to first be realistic. Thinking your mate will meet all of your needs will not happen. You really need to take account. We need to have communication, and we need to have communication about sex, money, trust, and all other relationship issues, because that is the good life. And once you have those what you reaching for?
Because I want to say something.
Oh, go ahead.
Because look, at the end of the day, you have to put effort into it if you want it. You have to put the work into it.
Agreed.
Nobody's perfect.
Pursuit proves passion.
Stop piling up the miles. Nobody's perfect. Deal with it, man.
I like that.
What if they highway miles though? What if they highway miles?
Oh gosh.
We got to define that off there.
Y'all know around 9:55 I start thinking about what I'm gonna eat for lunch, and I'm gonna eat Neo's. So today's Tuesday specials are white beans, barbecue chicken, meatballs, and spaghettis. And it's $6 Tuesday. All po' boys $6. Make sure you meet me at Neo's. I said meatballs and spaghetti, yes, and it's $8. Spaghetti, meatballs and spaghetti, $8. Neo, 3340 Bienville Street, Mid-City, 3340 Bienville Street, Mid-City. Meet me there for lunch. I'll see y'all later.